So, TLDR version. All right. Here we go. So, wrestling's really changed recently. AEW has come out and like really promised the moon to a lot of professional wrestling fans, and god damn it, it's giving it to us. It's exciting. It makes life exciting. My week is planned around this kind of shit because it's the main thing I'm excited for. So, what is AEW? Man, back in 2017, there was this group called the Bullet Club. And yeah, it had a ton of different guys in it. They're basically the NWO in Japan. But what's important is there's these 5 guys, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and Hangman. Young Bucks. And they all decided they wanted to change the world of professional wrestling. So they took all their fans that they got off the internet and everyone that had been following them, and they found their opportunity. In 2017, Dave Meltzer made a tweet responding to someone asking if ROH could ever put 10,000 butts in seats. And he said, not anytime soon, right? Hey, pal, not anytime soon. Cody Rhodes saw that and replied back, I'll take that bet, Dave. The Elite, which is this group of 5 that I just mentioned, put together this huge show using all of their networking that they had from other promotions and put together just this one big shindig. This show was amazing. It happened on September 18th in Chicago. It sold out in minutes. They really had something. They brought together all these promotions. It was wrestling for wrestling fans. It was amazing. On the heels of it, though, the rumors of something bigger were in the air. Come January 2019, a press conference is set to debut AEW, All Elite Wrestling. They're there to promise something different. Real pro wrestling, akin to the days before WWF. Wins and losses count. Chris Jericho comes out and signs with AEW, and this is huge because Chris was saved from WCW, World Championship Wrestling, to go work for WWF, World Wrestling Federation, for Vince McMahon. In WCW, Jericho was a little guy, and he wasn't allowed to do anything. But for Vince, Vince gave him a stage. WWF was highlighted, seasoned. It was brought to life when Jericho came out and stepped toe-to-toe with The Rock, the leading man in WWF at the time. Unironically, Jericho decides to turn his back on WWE and break away from a lot of his promises, saying that he'd always be there for Vince, and come join and help legitimize AEW. Jericho's a huge star. He brings that name power. And basically, he's coming over to do exactly what Vince did for Jericho for this promotion. At the end of the press conference, they start to set the stage for their TV deal for the show Dynamite by setting up a few pay-per-views that are going to lead up to it. The first one, namely, a very important one, May 25th, 2019, in Las Vegas, Double or Nothing is going to occur there. I went. It was amazing. They have the inaugural Casino Battle Royale on the pre-show. The winner of this match gets to face the winner of the main event at the following pay-per-view, All In. Our guy, Hangman Adam Page, one of the Elite, wins the inaugural Casino Battle Royale. The main event was Kenny Omega and Jericho. See, Kenny Omega and Jericho already had heat from Japan. They had already been tussling together, so obviously it just kind of works their way. 2 huge names. This is our main event. So they fight. Jericho wins. This next match, which would be the winner of the Casino Royale, Hangman Adam Page, versus the winner of the main event, Chris Jericho, will go on to have a match at the next pay-per-view for the crowning of the very first AEW champion. I do want to put in a little side note. At the end of the Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho match, Jon Moxley debuted. Jon Moxley was Dean Ambrose in WWE. He used to wrestle in the Indies as Jon Moxley, but I mean, hell, us casuals never knew. He came over to AEW as the prime example that a wrestler could be deemed not good enough to carry the brand, but given the right opportunity, could be the definition of pro wrestling. Moxley reinvented himself and is the main individual that many casual wrestling fans have their eye on for the legitimacy of AEW's promise of giving people the opportunity to wrestle. In short, I hated Ambrose. I fucking love Jon Moxley. All Out was announced for August in 2019. There, they did have the match, Hangman Adam Page versus Chris Jericho. Hangman was not able to pull it out. Jericho wins. Now, Dynamite finally starts up in October 2019. There's a tag team bracket, and this is where we bring in the rest of the Elite, right? We have the Young Bucks. They're the best tag team in the goddamn world. They fucking lose. That makes them sad. Then Kenny wants revenge for Moxley coming out and beating him and Chris Jericho up at the end of their match, making Kenny look like a fool. Plus, he lost that match. He was all kinds of pissed off. He goes on to have a hardcore, lights out, grudge match at Full Gear and loses. Kenny's fucking sad. He gets his ass kicked in a hardcore match. He's all torn up, beatered and battered and whatever. The team's pretty sad. Hangman's the only one that had any kind of win, but then lost huge to Jericho. Kenny, while he's supposed to be the greatest bout master in the world, he loses too. So to switch gears and kind of get their juices going in the right direction, they decide to switch it up, and the Elite puts together a new tag team of Hangman and Kenny Omega, and they're going to go in and see what they can do with some tag team success. It takes them a while to kind of get their footing, but they start to click. During this time, Hangman's starting to kind of notice that he's not as elite as the rest of the group. He doesn't quite fit, you know? And I mean, sometimes you see that when you start hanging out more and more with your friends and they're kind of doing different stuff and, well, you're not. And in this case, Kenny and the Bucks and Cody were, you know, off being EVPs. Hangman was just kind of there, right? He's not exactly one of them. He found himself drinking a lot alone, which is never a good idea. There, he starts meeting up with other people. There's this group called the Dark Order, and what they do is kind of cult together with lost individuals. And I mean, honestly, Hangman fits. He fits the bill. So they try to get him. Turns out the Dark Order was like kind of weird, just creepy dudes. But then once they got onto BTE because of Hangman Adam Page, turns out they're just a bunch of fun guys. And thanks to guys like John Silver and bringing in Brody Lee and kind of the segments they would do on BTE, they're way over. They're awesome now. I mean, like they've completely saved, right? They were, I don't know what they were before. It just didn't really work. It was one of the few dark spots of AEW's kind of beginning. The Dark Order spends most of their time trying to get Adam Page to officially say he's part of the Dark Order, but it never really happens. But it never really doesn't happen. But it really never happens. Sometime in the run-up to this match, Kenny and Hangman got the tag titles, right? So it's the Elite versus the Young Bucks for the tag titles, the Elite versus the Elite, whatever. Drama. Everyone assumes Kenny and Adam are going to have a falling out in this match, right? Like I said, Kenny has been really focused on being an EVP. Hangman is kind of floundering out there, kind of feeling lost, making new friends, doing a lot of drinking. Think Demon in the Bottle, Iron Man, right? And, it's just not sitting pretty. So everybody's assuming, Young Bucks is the best tag team in the world. They got this shit. This is a done deal. Nothing to really talk about. Kenny and Adam swear to God, they have got their shit together, and they are not going to lose their tag team gold. And the tag team gold is the only thing keeping them going because of all the losses they've been going through, and it's the only bright, shiny thing in their life for now. The match was well fought. It felt pretty even for most of it until the end, where the Bucks basically just are the better tag team. They kind of just showed that. But when it comes down to the final moments of the match, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks couldn't finish off Kenny Omega. He just couldn't do it. He was torn. He had feelings deep down in his heart. Shout outs to Church Camp. This gives Hangman Adam Page the opportunity to get back into the match, separate up the Young Bucks, literally murder Nick Jackson with a buckshot lariat on the outside of the ropes, then turn around and absolutely destroy Matt Jackson with a buckshot lariat for the 1-2-3, and the Elite, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, retain the tag team titles. Now, there's some confusion in the ring. They just had a knockdown, drag out, however the hell you say that phrase, fight. And, your friendships are a little, heated, tested. It was rough. The lead up was rough too. They did some mean stuff to each other before the match, the weeks beforehand, once the kind of match was going to be set. Kind of build the event. It took some time, but Kenny chilled out. The Bucks came and were like, yeah, whatever. We're sorry. Get in here. Let's celebrate as the elite. Yeah. But Hangman was never quite comfortable. And he doesn't get up there. Either way, they break it up. It's the end of the show or whatever, the end of the segment at least. And then there's this one look here. And now, if you pay attention to the Buckshot Lariat, show it. Show a couple of them. Make sure you see the hands. Notice the hands. Zoom in on the hands. Now, look at this look back. What's going on with those hands? Oh, it's nothing. Okay, it doesn't pay off. But hey, we're all hooked. We all knew something was going to happen. This will have to be enough breadcrumbs because this story's still going. Either way, they end up losing the tag team gold. They dropped it to FTR, which is another group that came from another promotion to come show how much better AEW is. Blah, 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 blah. Same old story. Kenny and Adam just kind of go their different ways. Kenny has basically snapped at this point, and he's acting very crazy and erratic on Dynamite and on BTE. Very strange time for that. But then also, Hangman's off kind of doing his own thing and drinking, and he's just kind of opening up to being friends with the Dark Order a little bit more. They're partying more. They're making more jokes. They're tag teaming together here and there, and he's having a ton of singles success. You know, when you've got shit right in your life, it's easy to be successful in what you apply yourself to. This is a very, obvious thing that a lot of people may not understand, especially during this time of, pandemics and social distancing. Sometimes us humans, social people, need to be around others to kind of motivate yourself and just kind of get going and doing the things you do in everyday life. In this case, being a professional wrestler and winning some goddamn matches. Hangman wins so many matches that he qualifies for the #1 Contenders Eliminators tournament to face Jon Moxley, who had won off of Chris Jericho. Please go check out the Chris Jericho versus Jon Moxley feud that led to Jon Moxley winning the AEW Championship. That's awesome. In this tournament, the finals, you guessed it, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page, right? Both of them going to finally get their shit together as a singles wrestler. Kenny wins. Sorry, Adam. Adam lets the crowd know over the coming weeks that, just because he lost, he's not out. He's got new friends. He's enjoying life. He's drinking some beers. The crowd loves him. He's energized. And he debuts his new catchphrase, which I guess is his current gimmick, called cowboy shit. He's going to do some cowboy shit. Y'all get ready for some cowboy shit. Fucking Jim Ross. Oh, it's time for cowboy shit. Right? Cowboy shit. It's the fucking, it's whatever. It doesn't make sense. Whatever. Cowboy shit. And in the meantime, when I say the meantime, time is passing here, right? There's stuff going on. Feuds are happening. Things are moving. Time is going on. And a lot of stuff's going on, especially during this pandemic time, because they were kind of just, doing everything they could to make the best product that they could. But at the head of these things, Kenny Omega is able to score a victory over Jon Moxley and become the AEW champion. Now, he doesn't do it on his own. He does have a little help from none other than Don Callis. Don Callis being a manager from back in the day. He's managed many different teams and wrestlers across many different promotions. This time, he was working for Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling being another promotion, the old TNA. Don comes over, helps Kenny score the win. Kenny takes the belt and runs off, and they say, hey, you can talk to the champ on Impact Wrestling next Tuesday. Hoo, 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 hoo. And now the universes are starting to fall and crumble and come together. It's happening. They promised. Here enters the timeline we call Kenny the Belt Collector, because not only does he go over to Impact and win their championships, he already had the AAA Mega Campeon belt. So he's just got all these different belts, and this kind of makes this new character for him, Kenny the Belt Collector. So Kenny has all these belts, and time passes. Kenny being this guy and being a heel and kind of being in everybody's face on all these different promotions lets him be the biggest heel in professional wrestling that we've seen in a long time, because he's not just a big heel on a WWE show. He's not just a big heel over here. He's a big heel everywhere except WWE. Eventually, Kenny drops the Impact titles to Christian, right, as in Christian from WWF's Edge and Christian. And he drops them. Christian does his own thing. Christian's in AEW to kind of be one of those older brother types to work with the youngsters and kind of work what he can and be used as he could be. Good dude. So now we've come to kind of the next spot in our story here, right? We're up to modern times, if you will. And by modern times, I mean we're already in 2021 at this point of the story. But as friends should do, John Silver and the rest of the Dark Order see that Hangman has had a really good run in singles, and Kenny's kind of issued a challenge to anyone in the backstage, right? He said there's nobody back there that is even legitimately a #1 contender. The Dark Order point out to Adam that, hey, you've got the wins. You can do this thing. You're so handsome. Look at your beautiful hair. Let me give you a kiss. These are literally things. So it leads to a confrontation in the ring. From this little confrontation, we come out with a 6-man match. It's going to be the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, versus Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order. Now, this little confrontation is not without some stipulations. I mean, if it's good wrestling, it's got stipulations. On one side, if Hangman and the Dark Order win, they get to challenge for the belts respectively. If Hangman and the Dark Order lose, they never get to challenge for these belts as long as the Elites hold the titles. Ever again. Ooh. So the match happens. It's a great match. It's a good fun. Everybody interferes because they're two big groups. Whatever. It's shenanigans. Blah, blah, blah. Wrestling. Hangman and the Dark Order lose. Hangman disappears from TV. Hangman disappears from BTE. Everyone but the Dark Order quit saying Hangman's name. The Dark Order quit talking about Hangman. So much other stuff happens in AEW at this time. CM Punk joins. Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson join. Kenny Omega continues to win. Which brings us all the way up to, well, today. And by today, I mean like a week or two ago. Let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. AEW's having their 2nd anniversary Dynamite show. A real milestone for the company. A lot of people said that they didn't think that the company would be around for 2 years. At this point, realistically, it's all brakes, no gas. They're going to the moon. On this event, they decided to have a big old Casino Royale ladder match. Winner gets an AEW title shot. I may not have mentioned before, but in these Casino Royale matches, they do 4 suits of cards, where groups of wrestlers come out for each suit every 5 minutes. And then they do a 5th Joker single slot, where opponent number 21 comes in. And this has been used every single time to bring someone new into the company. Match is going on, yada, yada, yada. Here it comes. Shuffle the deck on the screen. Here it comes. Joker up on the screen. Silence. And then you hear it. Strumming the guitar. It's Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page is back. He's been off TV for like 4 months. This is huge. And this is huge for a few reasons. It's the first time they use one of their own guys. It's a young guy that they use. They're promoting their blue chip. And the pop is loud. I popped in real life. Ask Adam. I did. It was embarrassing, but it was real. And he wins. Hangman gets it. Never again can he challenge, but now he has a contract. That story's continuing. I said there's a lot of reasons why this is important, but this is the most important of all. It continues our story and lets me keep talking to you. This is the promise in action of long-term storytelling. What was been said by so many different outlets could never work in America. Long-term storytelling, seriously happening. I just ran down 3 or 4 years of history to get to here. Yeah, I know I'm cheating because I said time passes a lot, and the Japanese part was just, 2017 and before, right? That's not fair, I guess. So I guess technically I did all of eternity, but what's most important is Hangman Adam Page is going to challenge Kenny Omega at AEW Full Gear, November 13th, 2021 in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Center. I will be there. I will tell you how it goes. And more importantly, go check out professional wrestling. It's something so great. You know, they say new Coke is new, or classic Coke is back, and it's better. Hey, wrestling's better now. Go check out AEW.